Beautiful day, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Love, Peace, and Happiness Tarot. Coming to you live once again from Las Vegas. I go by Melinda NailFanatic, and I'm back to deliver this timeless collective channel message from the Pisces series. So if you're here, it's by divine design. If it resonates, pick it up and run with it. If it doesn't, leave it where you found it. Either way, make your choices and decisions responsibly today, because you'll always have the consequences and repercussions to pay. If you have a Pisces sun sign or another birth chart position, this is your reading. If you wanted to cross watch about a Pisces person in your energy, this is just your reading. For all of you who are just watching because you love watching every reading that I produce here, so thankful and grateful for you. Remember, the reading could be speaking about you or the person on the other side of the table. We're going to pull some spiritual energies and guidance messages from several different oracle cards, and then we'll go into some tarot. So let's see what's the most important message in this Pisces energy here from the Azure Oracle cards. And it says, break the cycle. Card number 29. You are the light. You can stop intergenerational behaviors. All right. Let's see what card. So 29 years old, 29th, the birthday. Wow, I flipped right to the right page. That's awesome. It says you have the opportunity to break family karmic cycles by showing love and kindness towards people who haven't always shown you love and kindness. It is quite common for domestic violence and emotional abuse to be repeated one generation to the next. Many people who have grown up with mistreatment keep the bad karma going by mistreating other friends and family. That's all they know. You can break the cycle. It only takes one generation to make an enormous difference. If you see bad behavior in your family, do the opposite. What would love do? Your angels would like you to know that you can do things differently, and they will help you if you just ask. You can change your behavior, and you can change how you react to past misdemeanors or emotional abuse. You can offer forgiveness from a distance if necessary. Forgiveness is important so that you can move on with your life. Your angels are giving you big hugs. They want you to know that you are a good person and have never deserved cruel treatment. Ask Archangel Michael to put you in a protective blue bubble if you think you are in danger. It is really important that you find a safe place to be. This could be on your friends or family's lounge. Alternate meanings are domestic violence is never acceptable. If you are a family member is in danger, know when to leave or get help from professionals. If you or someone you know needs crisis support, call Lifeline now on 13 11 14, available 24/7. Is there someone you can help who is in a domestic situation? Well, I'm not sure about this Lifeline 13 11 14 where that phone number is from, but there are phone numbers available for people who are in situations. A little bit of research online could definitely find those. I also reading this. You can make one generation can make an enormous difference. 3 generations of repeated making an enormous difference solidifies the generational line. I did hear that, and forgiveness is not for them; it's for you. And uh, protective blue bubble, Archangel Michael. The best remedy is to begin to program your brain as it is a computer to know that you are always blessed, safe, and protected no matter where you stand in your skin. And no domestic violence. So even when my children are start roughhousing and stuff like that, my grandchildren, that's something I tell them all the time. No domestic violence. They just laugh at me. Um, but some of you don't know that I came from a strong domestic violence background. Um, some of you are also coming from a strong domestic violence background. Some of you are ones who have people in your life that come from a domestic violence background. Now, when you have somebody in your life that comes from a domestic violence background, there is some things that people who have been abused do. Like one of the things that they're pointing out that people who've been abused do is they tend to look a lot towards proving their value. Yeah, they try to prove their value in certain ways that they've been trained to. And they also, I'm hearing they run on a lot of fear. They run on a lot of fear that they'll be hurt, fear that they'll be put out, fear that they won't have the love. Now, the other thing that comes with domestic violence issues is the idea that once that's all you know, then people also begin to perceive violent behaviors as symbolic of love. So somebody once told me, "You like fighting, you like arguing." And I thought to myself, no, I don't. But what happened through that conversation was a realization of a time when I was much younger than at the time that I heard those words, where I was in a long-term relationship with a person who was very calm, cool, and collected. This person did not get triggered very easily, and I just remember a situation where I was so angry, and then the person wouldn't get angry with me. They would not get into the shitstorm with me. And I remembered, I mean, and you got to understand, like, this was years after I had completely forgotten the experience, but that one conversation years into the future triggered the memory of it as though it had just happened. My telling the person, when it happened, like, do you even care? How can you just sit there so calm and relax while I'm over here having a whole fit? Like, I'm angry. How can you just be calm and relaxed like that? So sometimes once we get used to arguing, battling, fighting, that becomes our normal. Like, and a lot of times if people have come from domestic violence situations and you don't add to it, you don't enhance it, you don't get down in the shitstorm with them, then they can see from their perspective like you don't care, because in their brain it's been rewired to think that violence and abuse equals caring and loving. And you and I know that that's not true. And even those people might know consciously that that's not true. But the problem is, oh boy, this is bringing up so much. The problem is they've been trained to accept this behavior, and it was behavior that was usually, not every time, in so many cases though, first instilled in them in childhood from the people that were supposed to love and protect them the most, their own parents. So many of us learn to accept abuse and domestic violence from our own families. Think about it. How many times did your parents say they were going to whoop your ass? Or how many times did your parents literally whoop your ass? How many times did you watch your parents fight? Did you ever watch your parents have a healthy conversation about something that bothered them? You know, if you come from domestic violence, those answers are very clear explanations of how it could get programmed into the subconscious. So, from the Divine Abundance card coming out, it says non-duality. Let your authentic humanity shine forth while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become fluent at doing both. So this is saying being divine and being human at the same time is totally possible. Okay. So that could be part of what you're experiencing right now. If you're having a person in your experience who is used to domestic violence, or if you are the person who had been used to domestic violence, I see that this non duality, removing the division from within, understanding that you are a whole being, not a part of a being, is something that is coming up in the cards for you at this time. Love and peace and happiness. So let's get the Santa Muerte Oracle out and see what else they want to add to the message. But yeah, spirituality is a beautiful way to address all of those issues. And I'm hearing one of the best things you can do if you're coming from a domestic violence background and you're still working on the anger, the rage, the triggers, the abandonment, the victimization, is to go to the youngest memory you have of these types of abuses. Go to yourself in that time as who you are now with what you know now, and go to that you and tell that you, maybe let's say your youngest memory, you're like 6 years old, right? And you were physically abused or you watched it. whatever, it got stuck in your consciousness at that age. So you would go in through a visualization practice and go to that young one, let the young one know that this does not affect their value, that you love them, that they're going to make it through it, because look at how big and successful we are now, and that, you know, this is not healthy and it's not necessarily their fault, but they can make power come out of it, that they don't have to repeat the patterns, that they deserve kind treatment and respectful behaviors to be shown to them. Whatever it is on your heart that you feel like you could have benefited by hearing, you can give that to yourself spiritually. And because the train of thought that all time is simultaneously occurring, like you literally are reaching through the time space continuum to you, to encourage you to be your biggest supporter, to come through that experience. Okay, let's see what the Santa Muerte Oracle wants to add to our message for you today. You're a cycle breaker, okay, and you break the cycle by getting the union of you and you. Instead of being divided against yourself, you unify with yourself. Okay, so we have card number 30 coming out, and it says realization. Interesting. It says it is a card of accomplishment of one's work, the realization of one's projects, but also the comprehension of the entire process we are immersed in. Something with faraway roots has passed between our hands, infused emotions into our hearts, and finally bloomed like a flower in our minds and then in our work. We are made up of the same particles that make up any other atom of the universe. When we are moved by something, it is the universe that watches and is moved by itself, participating in this joyous merriment that was made possible only by the form, albeit a transitory one, that the Holy Mother has given us. The advice of the dead. It is time to understand the nature of your act, because realization is coming and results are near. So anywhere where you have been doing the self-healing, self-awareness processes, so that you can break cycles of domestic violence, of abuse, bring more peace and harmony into your life, I see accomplishment coming in for you, or you've attained it. I see it on those two levels. Either you're in the process, yeah, or you're already there. And that's absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous, because it takes a lot to break these cycles. It takes a lot of self-awareness. It takes a lot of willing to um, accept things that are challenging to accept in ourself. Okay, and it's totally possible. And one thing that's standing out to me is first the sunflower on her third eye, and then the red clothing that she's covered in. So that those two color things are showing me, one, positivity in the mind, and two, that it's like your whole physical reality. It's like looking so much from the physical reality. Uh, so some of you have been doing some root chakra healing, which definitely includes safety and security. Others of you, you're looking for how you can. That's how you can. Yeah. And they're saying wearing the color red, eating the color red, thinking the color red, surrounding your, maybe you get some red pillowcases or something like that. That will help work on the subconscious and help heal your root chakra while you're in this process. And they're saying it's very important for your success that you not that you be overly it's not talking about being unaware of everything that is, but they're absolutely encouraging you to look for the positives out of whatever is, okay? Because it's going to be what we decide that it is. And the minute we can take these horrible experiences that we've had and then decide and declare that this is positive for this reason, I'm grateful for what happened for this reason, then it must shift. It's quantum mechanics, it's quantum physics, that it must shift in the energy and show itself to you as something to benefit and better your life. And yes, you can do that even with difficult, ugly ass experiences that you would have never actually consciously chose as a human for yourself. Okay. Again, though, they're saying if you came into a family with a lot of domestic violence, if you came into a relationship with a lot of domestic violence or abuse, on some level, your soul did choose it because you knew you could overcome it and move this energy not only for yourself and for your generational line, but for humanity overall. Okay, let's see what else we have in this Pisces energy for the enchanted map, please, and thank you. And it's rescue, card number 16. And I heard you are the one that's going to rescue you. And then I heard rescue me, take me in your arms, rescue me. I need your loving chance cause I'm lonely and I'm blue. I need you and your love to come on and rescue me. Come on, baby, and rescue me. And they're saying this is your inner child singing to you, you consciously and your highest self to come and rescue, because the only rescuer you're going to find is you. The book says you are always safe and secure and free to be yourself. That is so in alignment with the affirmation that I'm always giving you here, which is I am always blessed, safe, and protected. Okay, on all time, space, and dimension. Asking for help isn't easy for many successful people. However, that's what you need to do now as you expand your life. If you find yourself troubled, you can expect help with whatever issue is at hand now. You need not only ask, and assistance will come your way. The most important support you can expect is from spirit. Get into a right relationship with the divine, and you'll see that many conditions line up as if by magic to provide you with all the help you need. Ask and you will receive. There is no need to fear. Safety is a place within. And that's it. And that's actually it. I love that it in the upright energy, it wasn't asking you to go searching outside of you, but to ask inside. And while I was reading that, they were saying, yeah, ask your future self, ask your highest self, ask your angels, ancestors, and guides, because shoot, them ancestors help contribute to this energy being in your life strongly. So they know how to get you out because now they're in spirit. Yeah. And what was the other thing? Give me one moment. Tell the DJ, bring it back. I heard your highest self and your future self have the perfect information that you need to bring you out of a situation. Okay. Now they do want me to read the reversed information, even though the card came out upright, but I keep all my cards upright. Somebody needs to hear this. This is, are you trying to rescue another? Do you believe your love can change someone and miraculously heal this person? Or are you waiting to be rescued? Do you believe that someone will sweep you off your feet and take away all of your troubles? Reversed, the rescue card cautions you against romanticizing your situation right now. Look closely and see reality as it is rather than the illusion of how you'd like it to be. You need to step back and rescue yourself. I love that this is what I was just saying. Trust that spirit will guide you to expose the illusion so that you may discern the difference between truth and fantasy. Love and peace and happiness. Yeah, I love the way I say things, and then even reading from the book is so beneficial because it's so confirming of everything that I channel here for you. And it's just, again, you can shift your whole experience. You can or have healed. The AC just shut the door. That's awesome. And I heard shut the door on the old experience. You can or have shut the door on the past experience of abuse and domestic violence. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to allow it. But it does take some intention to move beyond it and actually get it out of your system. Now they're showing me a message that I channeled a couple years ago, which was like, once you break the karmic cycle, so let's say this rose equals you being in the karmic cycle. That means the domestic violence and the abuse is in your personal life. Once you break the cycle, you'll find that the energy will many times still linger in your life, but it will then move externally to you. It won't be in you, it will be in the others around you. And it's because you have agreed to uh, transmute so much of the energy of this type of cycle in your life. And it's like a percentage of your life. So you could have learned the lesson about domestic violence and abuse within, the first 10% of the experience that equals 100% of what you committed to do before you came to this earth, which means that leaves you 90% of your experience to fulfill, contractually obligated by your soul. But you can do it with other people having the experience, and you would be the advocate, you would be the friend, you would be the sister, you would be the coworker, you would be somebody who can take the benefit of your experience and then assist the other who is moving through the experience at the time. Okay. Sometimes when people come through a cycle that is so significant and have not fulfilled their soul mission contract with it, they become advocates, they become spokespeople, they might write a book, they might YouTube blog, whatever it is. They benefit others from their healed position with the wisdom that they gained and the experience that they have. And it's absolutely gorgeous, actually. And if there's nothing else to be grateful for about having had that kind of experience, that is definitely something to be grateful for. Because when a person is in this experience, they can feel so alone, they can feel so isolated. And to have somebody who really gets them and understands them, it just helps them feel comforted. It helps them feel heard and seen. Okay, so the card that's coming out here from the Beloved Dead Oracle is absence. So let me find it in the book. Give me one moment. These cards are set up a little bit different. So it says holes are made in many ways, with hollows of varying breadth and depth. Some graze the surface, others are fathomless voids. All create longing for what once was or should have been. All destroy our sense of being present, steady, and whole. Absence at its heart-rending core is a hole. It is a vibration of loss. It is also the childhood wounding and adult anxiety caused by emotional or physical abandonment. Parents are mistakenly human and often not the most enlightened, responsive, or responsible caregivers. They are riddled, full of their own holes, immature or negligent, and children get raised in those holes. The sense of absence is what they come to know, and it's difficult to emerge from that hot mess unscathed. And yet, absence asks, even if you'd been born in utopia, would you be more likely to fulfill what you came here to do? Like many summa cum laude graduates of the School of Hard Knocks, you more than likely have unique abilities that required a different gestation, soul gifts that would have withered in full sun. The beloved dead of absence arrives to say that it's time to celebrate your exceptionality, your extraordinary lack of ordinary. If you're grieving the loss of a loved one, allow yourself to be supported and comforted by your ancestors. They're surrounding you with love every day, every sleepless night, attempting to ease your heart. Prolonged suffering can make you absent from your life or your ability to be fully present for others. This isn't your loved one's wish for you. I'm glad this card came out because it talks about like parents that don't know what they're doing because they can only give you what they've learned, and they've only learned so far. They haven't gone beyond where you've gone. You've gone beyond where your parents went. So wherever you learned to accept disrespectful treatments or to allow abuse, wherever you learned that, like you moved beyond their level of awareness. at this time is what that card was really screaming at me. And there's also this energy of appreciating, like, they can't give you what they didn't have. They couldn't give you what they didn't have. But you're, as the being that came in at this perfect time where all humanity was going to transition. Because if you didn't know that the global shutdown of the quarantine was a instituting a new program for humanity, like, you're here, if you've been alive during this time, you're running a new program. You literally have the ability to move energy in a way that those who came before you hadn't. And what I'm hearing is you were prepared before that global shutdown ever happened. You were being prepared your entire life for this time so that you can break the cycles of the past and institute new ordinary in your life. New extraordinary, new ordinary. Love and peace and happiness. Yeah, instead of the ugly, violent, abusive forms of communication and coping mechanisms, you've been being trained on healthier responses and on healthier communication and on healthier behaviors. And none of that would have been possible had you not had the experiences that you had. And it's important that you have this training because you're part of the new institution. You're part of enacting the new program here on Earth. So we're very grateful for the School of Hard Knocks, of which we are graduates, that taught us things that benefit not only us and our generational ancestral lines, but also benefit humanity. So as I have the Dreaming Way Tarot ready to go, let's ask for the perfect spread to deliver this Pisces energy message. So thankful and grateful for the growth on our channel. This is our channel. This channel is not about me. This channel is about us. It's about all of us. We have enough energy in common that you're attracted to participate in being present for these messages. And as time goes on, more and more people will be present for these messages. Yeah. And so okay, this is the spread. Clarity. That's the one. All right. The clarity spread wants to come out for this energy. And it's an 8-card spread. So from the time the first card falls, I heard go ahead and lay out the entire spread. And the spread will be in perfect order. Thank you. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. Bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Wands. Now, if that doesn't look like domestic violence and abuse and battling and fighting and disagreements, I don't know what card does, but yeah, 5 of Wands. Oh, it's all about the struggle, baby. But there's also a meaning to the 5 of Wands. It talks about it's like rehearsal for the main gig, rehearsal for the big show, rehearsal time. So what that's saying is all the struggles, all the fights, all the difficulties were literally rehearsal. It was practice so that you could be ready for the big show. So you could be ready for anything that would come your way, I heard. Okay. Yeah. So if all the world's a stage and we're just actors on it, well, then it was a rehearsal of a battle. There's also, I'm hearing contentions, everybody about their self, everybody out here just trying to get ahead. I'm hearing crabs in a barrel where they all want to pull each other down. Okay. I heard cutthroat. I heard willing to do anything to get ahead, willing to hurt anyone to get what they want to happen. Yeah, that totally was supported by the old energy prior to the global shutdown that was related to the used to be thriving of the powers that were. And now since the global shutdown, we're running a new program. Love, peace, and happiness. And so those energies don't work anymore. It doesn't thrive anymore. As a matter of fact, consequences and repercussions I was shown in 2020 hitting hard and quick. The karma coming back to people, instant karma. I'm hearing immediately. As soon as they know that they did some dirt, it comes back instantly. So it's so important for you not to get yourself too caught up with what people are doing. What's the biggest fear and distraction? We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, that you'll always be alone. Nine of Pentacles in reverse, that you'll never be able to take yourself, that you'll always be broke. Biggest fear and distraction is thinking that you need people there in order to make it, that somebody's going to step in and save you, and that's what you need. Biggest fear and distraction. Let's see what else with that Nine of Pentacles, please and thank you. It says on fire. These cards come out in reverse. And leap of faith, okay, hidden in plain sight, and multiple streams. Okay, so there's this energy here where there's been a lot of experiences that have showed you that what you care about, what you really want to do, you can't do it. You're unseen, unheard, nobody cares. Yeah, interesting. And I'm hearing all of this stuff is meant to be uprighted by you in this lifetime, and it will be, or you've already begun the process. Love and peace and happiness. Yeah, this is about you being independent from the family background and bullshit that birthed you, baby. My mother used to say it all the time. And today is my mommy. It would have been her 71st birthday if she was still in her skin. So it's her 71st birthday today. Happy birthday, mommy. But yeah, just because you were born into shit doesn't mean you have to stay in it. You can get up, clean yourself up, and move on. My mother used to tell me all the time since I was a kid. And that's kind of what somebody's afraid of here. And this distraction is like the things that matter to them. You know, if they take a risk, nobody sees them, it doesn't work out. But in reality, like, not only when you get yourself viewed together, your passion's going to create so much magic, right? And this leap of faith, you're going to be guided to, you're going to understand why the world hasn't seen. You're going to understand why certain people couldn't get what you, couldn't be in your vibe, couldn't be in your energy. And you're not going to require them, you're not going to desire them to be there to support you, confirm you, to be your affirmations or your confirmations. Is no longer necessary. But this is the distraction that is here. Somebody here doesn't feel like being alone, but not being alone is actually a big distraction. And that's one of their fears, is they don't want to be alone. Somebody doesn't ever want to be alone. But so then I hear, so then they accept whatever comes what may from whatever type of person shows up. I'm hearing a-hole. From a-hole. Wow. From the a-hole that shows up. And this energy was talking all about the holes, right? Yeah. So, so just willing to fill in the hole with any old body that shows up, and you end up with an a-hole in your face. Okay. Interesting. Where to focus instead is the Five of Cups in reverse. I actually love that this Five of Cups comes out in reverse, because this Five of Cups in reverse is like, remember how, is life actually felt better when certain people left your life, when certain folks leave your experience. It doesn't feel worse, it feels better. Finally, you don't have to worry about this person. I heard breathing down your neck, walking on pins and needles. Yeah. And it's coming out like, tell it like it is. I heard, tell it like it is. Don't be afraid. Let your conscience be your guide. Okay, so yeah, tell it like it is. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, I don't even think those are the correct lyrics to that song. It could be. I'd have to go listen to it. However, it's like somebody has been romanticizing what the situation was. Somebody, I see where you could be saying, I wish that I had them back. Baby, come back. Don't you know I need you, girl? There is something, and I just can't live without you. And in reality, it's like, hold on a second. But don't you remember how miserable you were, how insecure you felt? Walking on pins and needles was not the way of life that you really wanted. Okay. So what's the past experience to let go? You have the Empress. Ooh, this was about mommy. I'm glad it wasn't about the way my mom. Oh, they said, actually, do you remember that one time you was a little kid? I'm probably about 5 or 6 years old. My mother was so mad at me. I don't remember what for. She grabbed a clothes hanger, a metal clothes hanger, and started whooping my tail with it. Yeah, somebody here, you need to remember that your mother. I hear them. Your mother did the best she could with what she had. She didn't know the stuff that you know now. Okay, somebody here. That's the. Yeah, I see you. Your the mother. That the ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. It's been over. You're no longer under that influence. You're no longer under her care. You've grown up. You moved on. You moved out. You don't have to be burdened by that anymore. So let's see what is your useful past experience. Is the devil. Whoo-wee. This is awesome that that's in that position. The useful past experiences, you have been restricted, you have been in fear, you have been in toxicity. Okay, the journey is in reverse, and you already went through that journey. You've overcome so much. Okay, and then I hear one of you who's saying, I haven't quite overcome it yet. Well, keep moving, baby, because you got everything it takes to break that cycle. That was our first card out. Yeah, you did not repeat what your mother did to you, you did it differently. Okay, and you improved the situation, is what I'm hearing. So, what do you cultivate? What to cultivate is the 10 of Cups. Oh, loving, happy ending, happy family, generational bliss and happiness, respect and love. Okay, true love, the fulfillment of pleasure in life, coming out with healthy boundaries. Absolutely. I hear teaching the family to respect one another and their boundaries and their differences and accept one another. That we don't put hands on one another. And then again, they're showing me when I told you in the beginning, no domestic violence. I see the children beginning to roughhouse, and that's what I tell them. They just laugh at me all the time. Love and peace and happiness. No domestic violence. So let's see what is the next step for you in this. Is the 9 of Swords. There's somewhere where there's a fear you have not faced yet. There's a fear, there's a worry. I'm hearing it would be great for you to write that fear down and burn it up. Release it to the universe. There's something you haven't wanted to admit or look at, okay, in the fears. Connect with nature. And I just said release it to the universe. Okay, they're saying you can rip it up and send it downstream. You can flush it down the toilet. Okay, there's something you're afraid of having that cycle repeat. Give into it, but do it in writing. There's something that happens when you write, especially if you use a number 2 pencil, graphite, and the wood that's used in the pencil. Very magical elements involved in there. You could do research on Google on that. But also the connection, writing, especially if you write in cursive. Some of you may not know how. I know they stopped teaching that in school years ago. However, writing, especially in cursive, because it requires so many synaptic patterns to make the hand put the perfect movement and put the perfect pressure. And so as you put all that into the paper with the intention of releasing it, giving it back to the universe, okay, so you can connect with nature. Somebody here, it's going to be significant. I saw for you to take a walk at night. Take a walk at night, okay? Because there's this fear that you're going to be attacked, this victimization mode. Part of it is you getting out. I'm hearing taking a walk in the park. Part of your overcoming this and establishing, I'm hearing establishing within yourselves and your consciousness and your knowing that you are always blessed, safe, and protected in your skin, is to actually put that to test, put that to work. We're not saying go walk on Skid Row or nothing like that. No, that's not what we're saying. We're not saying go to the host stroll or nothing like that. No, that's not what we're saying. But and it doesn't have to be at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Although I've done that, it's very empowering. However, um, just in the evening, once the sun begins to come down, for somebody, this is going to be huge for you. Breakthrough energy, transformational energy. What do we have in our 7th position, which is your inner strength? You have justice. The truth is on your side, okay? Your strength is that the universe is here bringing balance for you. Lady Justice is on your side and knows what you deserve. And 0 fucks given. Hello? Hello. You know you're right. You know you didn't deserve certain treatments. You know you're not doing that. Justice is on your side. You're a truth speaker, I hear. Yes. Some of you with the strong Libra position in your birth chart. Let's look at your outside help or advisor, and it's the 8 of Cups. Oh, the outside help is that they walking away, that you're walking away from them. The outside help is to emotionally detach and walk away. Get over it, walk away, emotionally detach, and go have some perfect moments. It's like as you detach and emotionally walk away and emotionally detach from these different ones and different experiences, you're going to sleep better. We have beauty sleep at the bottom of the deck. And you're going to walk into some beautiful serendipitous happy making experiences that prove to you that you've elevated your energy, you shifted your reality, and those cycles are broken. The chains are broken, baby. You have success here. You became your rescuer. You're more in alignment with yourself. All the problems that you used to grow up with, that stuck with you for so long, are no longer having an effect. Yes. Love and peace and happiness. Thank you for the growth on our channel. Information is below the video and on the website. Doing all the YouTube things so more people can get the messages that Spirit brings is awesome. Until next time, I absolutely love and adore the part of me that aligns with you. The golden thread that shines all the way through, called love and peace and happiness. And in the meantime, in between time, you could treat yourself at LPHtarot.com. As in, love, peace, and happiness to you and yours. And of course, me and mine. Until next time. 감사합니다. Gracias. Later, baby. That's all, folks. And I'm out.